So when we're talking about the role of government in a mixed economy, so the areas where the government will do intervention is they can do it in the local level, the national level, and the international level. Okay. So government intervention is necessary. There is local intervention that is necessary by the government. National intervention is necessary by the government, and international intervention. Intervention means they need to come in between and they need to tell that this is to be done. When the examples of local intervention is they can have some local health services, they can refuse collection. When I'm saying they can refuse collection is they usually receive funding from the central government and are accountable. Our local government is accountable to give us quality of goods and services. Okay, so local government can refuse collection. Local government can have parking fines implemented. Local government can create parks and recreation and they can give services to the public. So these are the things which our local government can intervene, they can interfere and they can do it. You should also understand that our local government branches are also called as councils, federals or state. Local government branches receive money from central government. They are called councils, federal or state. They are responsible for delivering government services to towns, to regions. The intervention that they can do is they can implement fines, they can create parks, they can have health services, they can create public services. Now, our national government, the central government, they determine the best combination of policies. Policies are what? The rules and regulations. So they determine the best combination of policies that helps them to meet the larger macro aims, larger aims. The intervention which our national government can do is they can have fiscal policies in place, they can have monetary policies in place, and they can have supply side policies in place. So the intervention that our national government can do is fiscal policies, monetary policies, supply side policies. International government, what intervention they can do is they can have exchange rate intervention and they can have protectionism. So protectionism is the government is protecting the domestic industry and it will help the domestic industries to compete internationally. So when I talk about protectionism, government has the role to protect domestic industries and it will help them to compete internationally. Now let's take a look at the question and answers. What is the common role of the local government? A common role of local government. So what is our common role of the local government? Local government. International trade is for international government. Defense and securities. Provisions of public goods like refuse collection. Yes. Refusing collection for public goods. This is for our local government. Local governments are responsible on a local or regional level for delivering a service or they to refuse collection. Local health services also is given by the local government. Let's take a look at the next question. 3 levels of government intervention, government interference or government taking charge in a mixed economy. 3 levels of government intervention in a mixed economy is local, national, and international. This is the 3 levels of government intervention in a mixed economy. So the correct answer would be D. Let's go to the next one. What is the aim of protectionism? What is the aim of protectionism? Protectionism, what does protectionism do? Protectionism, it restricts international trade. It restricts international trade and it protects domestic industries. So, protectionism is to restrict foreign competition, to restrict international trade and protect domestic industries is to restrict foreign competition, is for protectionism. So C is the correct answer. Next question is, what is the main purpose of fiscal policy? Fiscal policy is government's taxation policies. Fiscal policies, it influences the economic activity through government taxation. So what is the main purpose of fiscal policy? Regulating money supply and interest rate. Regulating money supply and interest rate is a part of monetary policy. Influencing economic activity through government spending and taxation. Government spending and taxation would be fiscal policy. Managing the exchange rate, okay, of the national currency. This is again a part of monetary policy. Allocating resources to local projects. Allocating resources to local projects, it is not fiscal policy. So main purpose of fiscal policy is influencing economic activity. Let's go to the next one. Which of the following is not an example of macroeconomic big aim of national government? Big aim would be economic growth. It is a bigger aim. If it is a bigger aim, that means it is a macroeconomic aim. And in fact, economic growth, it is a macroeconomic aim. In fact, I would say economic growth is the main macroeconomic aim. So this is an example of macroeconomic aim. Low and stable inflation rate. Having low and stable inflation rate is also a macroeconomic aim. Macro means bigger economic aim. Having better international trade with other countries. This is also a macroeconomic aim, but it is not the main macroeconomic aim because this international trade will only help to stabilize the balance of payment position. Low unemployment is also a main macroeconomic aim because it is going to lead to the economic growth of the country. So which is not an example of a macroeconomic aim is better international trade with other countries. Let's go to the next one. What is most likely to be responsibility of a central government? Central government responsibility. Security cameras in shopping center. This is not the responsibility of the central government. Security staff at a bank, not responsibility of the central government. Ticket inspectors provision, that is also not the responsibility of central government. Immigration officials at an airport. Airport connects one country to the other. So immigration officials at the airport would be the responsibility of the central government. Next one. In a city, what is most unlikely to be provided by the private market system? Private market system can provide a museum so that their name could come in. Private market system could also provide a school. Private markets can also have sports fields. But street light, okay, government is responsible. Street light is the responsibility of the government. Why is it the responsibility of government? Because our government is responsible for infrastructure. That means the roads, buildings. So government is responsible for infrastructure, and private firms cannot make a profit from providing street lamps. So street lamps are public goods. So public goods are unlikely to be provided by the private market system. Street lamps are public goods. Public goods cannot be provided by private market system because they are the responsibility of a government. What is the characteristic of a mixed economy? Mixed economy means what economy? Where you have private ownership and government. Private ownership and government intervention, they are existing together, is mixed economy. Okay. Government has complete control over all economic activities. This is not mixed. Private and government exist together. This is mixed. All productions is carried out by foreign companies. This is just about the domestic production and international production. Government sets price for all the goods and services. This is also not a characteristic of mixed economy. Prices of goods and services are set by market forces. So a characteristic of mixed economy is that private ownership and government intervention exist together. Which items below does not describe a local government branch? States, national, council, or federal? Local government branch. So first you have the local government. Local government is looked after by the national government. National government is the central government. It looks after the whole country. National is the central government that looks after the whole country. So state is also a small part, council is also a small part, and federal is also a small part. Okay. Local government branches are referred to as state, councils, federation. Local governments are called state, councils, federation, and national looks after the whole world. So what does not describe a local government branch is national. What is the role of local government in promoting economic development? Role of local government in promoting economic development. Local government does not set the national tax rate. They also do not implement international trade agreements. Local government provides incentives for local businesses. Even national budget is not the function of the local government. Managing the national budget is national government function. Providing incentives to local business is local government function. Setting national tax rate and implementing international trade agreements, they are also responsibility of national government. Let's go to the next one. What is an exchange rate intervention by the government? Exchange rate intervention is when the government enters in the market deliberately, so that it can influence the rates, it can influence the national currency. So exchange rate intervention is not a government policy that promotes trade barriers. Decision to adopt fixed exchange rate, no. Measures to stop all foreign exchange transaction, no. Exchange rate intervention is the deliberate action taken by the government to influence the value of national currency. This is the correct answer. Go to the next one. Why does government provide public goods and services in a mixed economy? They provide public goods and services not to stop private ownership. This is definitely not. Neither they want to provide everything for free. To solve market failures and provide essential services. Yes, this is the reason why the government is providing public goods and services. To discourage private individuals is not the aim of the government. What is the main source of government revenue in a mixed economy? Main source of government revenue is always the taxes that is collected from individuals and business. Main source of government revenue cannot, this is the correct answer. It cannot be private investments, it cannot be discounts, and it cannot be export earnings. Main source of government revenue is taxes collected from individuals and business. Common method of protecting domestic firms. Common method of protecting domestic firms is by doing protectionism, that is imposing tariffs and quotas on imported goods. If I remove all trade barriers and tariffs, that means the international companies will come in. If I encourage foreign investment without restrictions, that means domestic industries are at threat. So common method of protecting domestic firms is imposing tariffs and quotas on imported goods. Purpose of government regulation in a mixed economy. To eliminate competition, no. Government wants competition. To ensure equal distribution of income, no. Purpose of government regulation in a mixed economy can be to protect consumers, workers, and maintain fair competition. To control all aspects of production and pricing, this also the government does not want. The government wants to protect consumers. It wants to protect the workers, and it wants to maintain a fair competition. Let's take 2-marker question. Two roles of government in a mixed economy. Two roles of government in a mixed economy. Now we don't know whether we are talking about the local government, national government, or international government. Sweden has a mixed economic system. In 2018, it was operating at a point inside the production possibility curve. So if this is your production possibility curve, it was operating over here. In 2018, country school employed nearly 2,500 extra teachers. A few of these had previously been actors. A higher number had previously been government officials involved with regulation of Swedish monopolies. Two roles of government in mixed economy. So we can give any roles. For local government, it could be they could refuse collections. For national government, it could be the fiscal policies. Anything you can give. So we know the role of government in mixed economy. We've seen this over here, role of government in mixed economy. Local government role in mixed economy, national government role in mixed economy, and international government role in mixed economy. So we know about this already. Define what is a fiscal policy. You know what is fiscal policy? Fiscal policies is basically when you use the government spending and taxation to influence the economy, to help the economy, so that we can achieve the macroeconomic objectives using tax. You need to learn this. What is a fiscal policy? Using the government spending and taxation to achieve our bigger objective. Using government spending and taxation to achieve our bigger objective using income tax. It's a 2-mark question, you will get this. Two examples of national government intervention. Examples of national government intervention. It could be fiscal policy, monetary policy, supply side policy. These are examples of national government intervention. You need to know what is fiscal policy. You need to learn this. What is fiscal policy? Use of government spendings and taxation to influence the economy and help achieve macroeconomic objectives. Two examples of government intervention on international scale. Two examples of government intervention on international scale could be protectionism, exchange rate intervention, anything. For 2 markers, you can just write it directly. Four markers. Two types of national government intervention in a mixed economy. Read the question, understand properly, analyze, and then write. So two types of national government intervention in a mixed economy. In a mixed economy, the national government intervention would be the fiscal policy, the monetary policy, and the supply side policy. So when it is a 4-mark question, you need to mention the two types of national government intervention in a mixed economy. And also you have to explain. So if I'm using the fiscal policy as the national government intervention, or if I am using the monetary policy as the national government intervention in a mixed economy. So I would say one type of national government intervention is use of fiscal policy. Mentioning about it will give you 1 mark, and 1 mark is to explain, which is use of government spending and taxations to influence the economy and to achieve its macroeconomic objectives. Second type of national government intervention would be the use of monetary policy. What is monetary policy? It is the adjustment of interest rates and money supply. So you adjust the interest and money supply so you can influence the total demand and meet the inflation target. So in monetary policy, you adjust interest rate, money supplies to influence your demand and meet the inflation target. Now explain two examples of government intervention on an international scale. So one example of government intervention on international scale would be protectionism. The government policies protectionism. What happens in protectionism is that the government will restrict international trade so that it can protect domestic industries. How will it restrict international trade? It will put import tariffs, it will put import duty. Second, another intervention is exchange rate intervention. Exchange rate intervention is when the central government is able to influence the exchange rate amongst the currency, the buying and selling rates of its currency. The buying and selling rate of the currency will influence the exports and imports in a country. So these are two examples of government intervention on international scale. Give two examples of government intervention on international scale. So this is already done. Explain two functions of a local government. Local government functions. So one of the characteristics of the local government is that it is responsible for delivering government services to a town or a region. Local government is responsible for delivering services to a town or a region. This could include local health services, or they could even refuse collection. Secondly, another characteristic of your local government is that they usually receive funding from your central government. Local government receives funding from central government and they are held accountable for the quality of the goods and services that is provided to the voters in the area. So these are the two functions of local government. First function of local government is that they can provide local health services, they can refuse collections, they can impose fines, they can have parks and recreation centers. Secondly, the local government receives money from central government and it has to provide quality goods and services to the voters in the area. Give examples. Explain giving examples the difference between local and national government. National government is which government? The central government that regulates everyone. So national government is a central government in a country who is working to determine the best policies or the best combination of policies that will help them to meet their bigger aim. Okay, so national government, the central government in the country that is going to use the best combination of policies that will help them to achieve the bigger macroeconomic aim. Example, economic growth, price stability. So the policies which our national government uses to achieve economic growth or price stability is the fiscal policy, monetary policy, or supply side policy. Whereas our local government is responsible for delivering only government services to the town or region. Okay. Example, they are responsible for providing local health services, refuse collections, whether government should encourage people to save more. Now from the 5 marker question, we will do it in the next video.